Hello. No stream today. Sorry. But today we're gonna be playing more Genshin Impact. And so I'm gonna be playing Escoffier, the new 5-star character. I'm gonna be playing her story quest today. I'm gonna do the entire thing just like how in the last stream I did the entire Archon quest. Um, yeah. So let's just jump into it. Alright, so first we need to start the quest. So let's accept the quest and go into it. Let's see who's... Oops. I have a lot of character quests open that I haven't done. So apparently Navia is taken up because I opened her quest and I never finished it. I don't think there's gonna ever be a point in
Well,
Navia's story
if it
quest
isn't my dear
where
partners.
she isn't
That
available,
voice!
so
Navia!
I'm probably gonna have to play through the entire Navia story quest first before I can
I didn't
do
expect to run into you guys here today.
um
Are you headed somewhere?
Escoffier's.
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy?
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of.
So Navia's character
Stocking up on
quest takes place
materials,
basically
confirming
right
construction
after
timelines,
the Fontaine
discussing
story quest
compensation
finishes.
terms with families affected by the disaster. Between all of that, I've been making a lot of trips between the court and Poisson. Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, in my opinion, as the
But
administrators of Poisson, Spina di Rosula should take some responsibility as well.
basically,
Our financial situation right now
if you haven't
isn't the
played the
best,
Fontaine story
so
quest,
all we've been doing is
there's
signing
just a
agreements for the damages to be repaid at a
where
later date.
the
Though
entire
just
region is
pieces of
going to be
paper now,
flooded.
they demonstrate our commitment. They're
But
necessary to
then they
restore the
managed to
people's
thard
faith
off
in
the
us.
prophecy,
Oh,
and
spoken like
only
a true
some
president.
areas got
You're a really
actually
responsible
damaged,
leader. That must be taking
including
up most of your time, though,
Poisson,
right?
which is where
Oh,
Navia is
you
from.
bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the
And
court,
so
I'm
she's
always
just helping to
forgetting one
rebuild
thing or
it
another.
after
So
the
before I came over this time,
flood
I took a
was
page from
awarded.
Melusa's book and decided to make a list of everything. This way, it's easy to see which tasks you haven't
I
checked
don't
off.
know what's gonna happen in her story quest, but
And then, since
we'll see.
Meluse loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does
That's
sound like you,
wild,
all right.
Navia.
So what kind of shorthand did you use?
Oh, wanna take a look?
Yes.
See. Wait. There's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And this other
Hi, Manjas, let me see the paper.
Is it supposed to be a boar in a box?
The first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one is a reminder to try the new burger that just hit the market.
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Maybe
Thank
just
you
use
for your
standardized
advice.
shorthand.
These are the kinds of things you only really figure out once you've tried them out yourself. I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it, I'd be sure to remember the symbols when I looked at them
That's
later.
not true.
Unfortunately, I've definitely proven myself wrong.
Now you know for next time.
Anyway, I
It's,
should have already taken care of
very
most of the
easy
things
to
on the
forget
list. There are still a
shorthand.
few symbols that I can't decipher, but I don't think they're anything too super important. Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Ah, so you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, Actually, since we talked about the reconstruction earlier, want to come with me and check out the town for yourself? You said you don't have any plans, right? So we can just catch a boat and head over. It won't take long at all.
Mm,
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why not. What do you think, Traveler?
I'd be interested in taking a
Then
look.
let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the Aquabus, right? Like the Clementine line?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat. The Aquabus doesn't have a station near Poisson, so we'll use one of the Spina's boats.
I've still got something to do, so why don't you head over there first?
Oh, sure. That sounds fine to me. Just so happens I wanted to check some of the equipment on the boat as well. Just find me by the water when you're...
Okay. Let's see. Is she... Like, I'm pretty sure she would still be taken up. Oh, she's not! Let's go! That's so lucky. She's not taken up.
Hurry up, Brassa!
Hi, Navia. It's been like 2 seconds.
Hey, Navia! What you up to?
Shh!
Why the secrecy?
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
Whoa.
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
She doesn't really sound
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even
Sorry.
listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack.
Oh,
You gotta at
Paimon,
least hear her
please.
out.
Wait!
This isn't your business.
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? Huh. So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
What happened?
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Oh,
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
is she
Overworked.
overworking her
I've said it
staff?
before, and I'll say it again. If Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But
Yeah.
Vermont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Savannah,
But
You're,
you said I shouldn't come back until...
you're
Just
contradicting
do
yourself.
as you're told, and not another word out of you. Come on, we have work to do.
Wow, what a horrible person.
Ain't
Sorry.
that the truth?
Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again.
So, who is that, Navia?
Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of
That
pressure on
doesn't
her
seem
staff.
very healthy.
One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk
What?
properly.
I'm
That's not
sorry.
good.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
It's not his fault.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it
This
the
is like a very
old-fashioned way.
toxic
Camping out,
relationship.
watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
So, what you're telling me is that you were waiting for Savannah to leave and you were gonna approach Monica?
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke.
Yeah, Paimon.
Did Paimon ruin everything?
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
Either way, Savannah's seen you now, so probably won't get another chance.
Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan.
Paimon will join you, 'cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Then I'll join you too.
Guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper feast.
Thanks,
A really famous chef
Navia.
just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Escoffier, innit?
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Is it poisoned?
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Paimon, don't make things more difficult for her.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little
That poor
highly
girl.
strung, huh?
Looks like with Savannah in the kitchen, even the waiting staff are on edge.
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Ah, yes. Never underestimate Navia's affinity for sweets.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper.
Oh boy.
Find Escoffier.
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Could this mean what, Navia? Please tell us. Anything you know would be helpful.
You know that name, Navia?
Can't stand. Yeah. Let's...
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Absolutely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double. Now that he's back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of
Hi,
mileage out of this one.
Charlotte.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here.
Hi,
Perfect
Charlotte.
timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Phantom Weasel?
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations. He would
Oh
just
boy.
as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Sounds like an absolute weirdo.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor, but this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
I hope so.
Not exactly. There's a good
What?
chance that the weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all.
So it was a
Sure
magician.
enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epiclese for all to see. I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
I can definitely read that.
So, this is the warning letter, huh? Let's see what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
Thanks, Paimon.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance. What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now, and what does he want? I sense an epic scoop, and I'm going for it.
Uh-oh.
Hope you stay
If
safe.
this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
He might steal all your favorite snacks,
Really?
Paimon.
Oh, let him try. In fact, Paimon's gonna eat all our snacks right now. Let's see what he can do about that.
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance. Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that
Lenny.
should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though. Something exclusive. Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Lenny!
Looks like he's performing some magic.
Magic. Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lenny!
Oh.
You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious?
I
What
don't
sort of a
think
deduction
so.
is that?
Oh, relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go! No time for delay!
Oh. That's the wrong quest. I accidentally stumbled upon Looney's quest instead of going to Escoffier's
So,
quest.
who is this Escoffier anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory.
Oh.
Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history.
So then, what's she
after
doing
the culinary
here?
genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer. That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place?
That's
Well,
what I'm wondering.
apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility. And she was sent to the Fortress of Meripede.
What? Fortress of Meripede?
Ah. Oh, don't be dramatic. It was probably just a formality. I mean, we got sent there just for eating someone else's cake.
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
Well, that makes sense, because I needed
So
a head chef
that's
in
what
the meanwhile.
happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
It is
Even though
most definitely
Escoffier is
unfair.
no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Probably.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out.
Well, that would make the most
It's simple.
sense.
If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Well, about that.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove!
Oh, right. She's
You'd have had more
basically
sense
Gordon
serving
Ramsay.
hot water with ice cubes. At least then, you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
Oof, she's got a fire in her
I'm
eyes.
sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
I am at a loss for words.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Well, at least she's
Then go
teaching
back
him.
and do it again. The customers
Right.
are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
That poor kid.
Excuse us,
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Guess we're never getting
Oh,
food.
no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers. Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
Oh, hey, a table cleared up just like that.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef.
She didn't want to go back to the Hotel de Bord.
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
That's
I guess I'll be heading
unfortunate.
off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
Hey, at least she's
For
feeding
what?
her
Like
staff.
I said, I just
okay?
don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Firmo. That's the
She
second time
asked
we've
her,
heard
but
that
she's
name.
so
Who's that again?
nice.
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia.
I've told you before.
No one's making extra food.
Navia's
Hilaire's making
paddling
blunders in the
on her.
kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We are here to talk about Savannah.
Since Hilaire is working for you, you must be aware of the situation with Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business.
Well,
Besides,
that may be true.
I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
What?
What?
My
Well,
reaction exactly,
she was a much
Paimon.
gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
At least she's self-aware.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamara and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Navia is very right.
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Escoffier?
I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Wait,
I feel
so
like
now she's,
Escoffier's VA is English, and she's forcing to have a non-English accent, but it slips in there from time to time. Well, whatever the reason she came up with, at least she's convinced herself to go have a conversation.
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
That's true. She might yell at us. Oh, just go back. Okay.
Wait, she looks like... Is that a Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
What the heck?
The poor customer.
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen.
kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
That's some backwards logic. How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what Fermat had to put up with, then no wonder he had a breakdown.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
That's unfortunate.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of the kitchen.
What?
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean,
What?
Escoffier
changed
was
with
strict
her?
too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, what happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that Lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the Lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake. But you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a
Maybe
place where tensions are
someone
constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other
sabotaged?
all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
No, chef.
So, you do remember who's boss? Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Maybe we should give them some space.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand markup, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
That's
Ho
out the
ho!
window.
I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Bro,
Huh?
his voice.
Can I, Jem?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion?
I
Given
was
that we have
not
ourselves
ready
a
for that.
tete-a-tete between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
The traditional
The way
way?
that he just goes
That can
the
only mean one
traditional
thing.
way instead of the traditional way. Sounds like we're in for a history
That's
lesson.
right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
The
According
king
to legend,
contest.
the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the strategic direction of the restaurant. The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Huh. It sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But
It's
in fact, the cooking
wild.
contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts. And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
Escoffier.
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Thought so. Well, here's your answer, Paimon.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah, any objections?
Exhibition. Huh.
Well, I certainly
No.
have no objections.
If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Board to me.
What?
What?
The Codex de Boer?
The Codex de Boer? What is...
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world, and only the present and former head chefs of the Hôtel de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy, the original version, the one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry,
What?
I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original codex?
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
That's wild.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You
I'm in.
sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Man, I'm so glad
Escoffier,
it's baking.
Are you
I
sure
love
this
baking.
is a good idea? You accepted.
I love bake. I love baking.
Oh, it'll be...
Baking is one of my favorite things to do in real life. I wonder if it's gonna give us a recipe that can actually translate to real life. That would be so cool.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back?
I wonder if
Sure didn't
literally
sound that way to
everyone can hear them because of the echo.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
So, anyway, what's this Codex divorce she's so obsessed with?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modest's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever
slime
tasted.
condensate.
Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hotel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What?
That's wild.
No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime. And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality.
Dang,
You can't meet the
Escoffier.
tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows? Maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate.
Nah, I
Just
could make a
think,
better
if
one.
the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hotel de Boer never would have fallen into a slump.
I mean, it is true.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy? Could it be a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Boer is the true head chef?
Paimon is
Well,
reading too
it
much
was
into
clearly
this.
precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to give me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major change of heart since she became head chef. Yeesh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gato do the talking.
What does that mean exactly?
It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
Wow, you really don't mince words.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Well,
Let's not get too ahead of
she
ourselves.
doesn't have
Gâteau de
any
Boer is very complicated to make.
sous chefs
Usually,
right
it takes
now.
3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants in
I'll
time.
help. I'll help
Oh,
Escoffier.
that's easy. The three of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be
Bring it
warned,
on.
I will hold you to
Bring it on. I
exceptionally
can
high
beat
standards.
any standard you put.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm
Watch
made of.
this. Nah,
Confident.
I'd win.
I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place. Show me your knife skills.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Well, yeah, because it's just
yeah,
normal
thankfully
attacking.
it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
What's a cold press?
A kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients, which can then be used to flavor dishes more precisely. This isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Yeah, because I know what a sous vide is.
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Hammond's never used anything this.
Interesting.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want.
That's so
I'll
true.
demonstrate again. Now, Watch closely.
Learn flavorings. Okay.
Slowly and carefully. Not.
So we need 4 total, so. Oh, shoot. That was 1. There we go. Easy. It's just simple math, guys. I can definitely math.
And voila!
I swear.
Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try.
I guess I just treated it like an adventurous puzzle.
Oh, well, they do say adventurers are multi-talented folks. Now I've seen it firsthand. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Final score?
That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Okay. Escoffier. What's made by the hotel?
How's it going? Have you picked...
I could give macarons. Or I could remake the Fontaine foie gras. You know what? I'm gonna remake that one real quick. What else is on there? I don't remember. Oops.
How's it going? Have you...
I'll just give her the foie gras. Call it a day.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but
Oh, it
I'm
keeps
actually a
ours
bit of a
covered
connoisseur when it comes
because
to la food.
we
6
put in
points.
one from
What? Oh, well,
because it doesn't
fair
want to have to
enough.
put a
Paimon
different
doesn't cook all that often, so as long
model
as it's a
for
pass.
whatever food that
That's
we
6
do.
out of 100.
Whoa!
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Me next, me next.
El
I'll have
Paimon.
you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Whoa.
Aw.
I'm scared. Yikes. She's a harsh judge.
Now to the final dish.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8 points.
That's not bad!
Darn, that's barely higher than what we got.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe
So
even
that's
9 points.
80 or 90?
How did you pull that off?
Is all that practice from cooking for you, Paimon?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if
Let's
it takes 3
go!
chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe Paimon and Navia should keep practicing and see how it goes?
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bois, right? I was
Bro
just
does
wondering
not sound
if
like
you
a
needed
little
any
kid,
help.
though.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
The poor guy.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Are you sure you're up to the task, Furman?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. I know I've been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bois kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean, I hope so.
Firma,
Wow.
have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bois?
I have not, but I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
Uh-oh. Is he gonna be able to?
Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
Oh, he's
Can't seem
got
to grip my knife.
he's got PTSD from Savannah.
I
She
Get out
traumatized
of my
him.
kitchen yesterday.
That
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling
that
so much
terrible
better.
woman.
And then will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad,
Bro
talk to
should
me.
go see
What
Yume
happened?
Mizuki.
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
that
Monica,
Monica?
when did you get here?
I didn't even notice you arrived.
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it! In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Oh, goodness.
Do it
I
again,
feel
do it
terrible
again, do
for
it
them.
again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out or get
So much
out of my
food is
kitchen!
wasted in that kitchen.
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh, man. That must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Fiamma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to
That
go it
is
alone,
true.
I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Poor Monica.
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Firma.
Crazy.
I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
Maybe. I hope you're right.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Great. Then it's settled.
You should never
and to
say those words,
congratulate you all
Paimon.
on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast in the Fleuve Cendre. And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
That's wild. I can help cook.
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
Escoffier opted for a huge variety of dishes. Thankfully, both of us are skilled enough for that, even though it was our first time working together. We had a great rapport.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
She dished out plenty of praise, taught me an awful lot too. The time just seemed to fly by.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Why?
What are you up to?
Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer.
Oh.
I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing.
For her, it's probably not about how useful it is, and more an issue of head chef's pride.
Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point.
Were you two friends?
We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief.
It sounds like you feel partly responsible.
Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex.
Speaking of Modeste, didn't he have a falling out with someone as well?
Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary arts with Savelli. People started
like
gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured.
So, what happened to them ultimately?
Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a
This sounds
genius,
like history repeating
suddenly
itself.
died from an acute illness.
Escoffier is Modeste.
That was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile.
Savannah is
Their story
Savelli.
just came to an end. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends.
Is that true?
Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut.
Well, with me on the team, there's no way we can lose.
Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow, then. You better bring your A game.
Don't worry, Escoffier. Okay, I know that it's pronounced Escoffier, but I'm gonna call her Escoffier. Escoffier. Because Lol. That's my opinion. Shoot. It said 12. I did 11:30. There we go. Now she's gone.
Something you.
It's cooking contest day! To the Hotel de Boer! Toot sweet!
Okay.
Did you hear the
Looks
news?
like there's a lot of
Escoffier's
people.
coming back for a cooking contest.
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all
Rose
to the Hotel de
accent.
Bord and to this most
I
exciting
can't.
of cooking contests.
Savannah, I
No
brought the original
cheering
copy of the
whatsoever.
codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let
The
the
poor
Hotel
guy
de
got
Bord
his
cooking
food.
contest
His
commence!
meal interrupted, and now he gets to judge. Okay. Start the flavoring process at the seasoning table.
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Let's do this.
Alphonse? Gaspar? Get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
Okay, what the heck? This one needs -4. Where is the freaking... Oh, there it is.
A dash of frosting! Yeah, that should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavors.
Okay, it needs -4, so I'll add to -6. Okay.
Come on, Escoffier! Come on, Traveler!
Come on! Where are we? Layer 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go over here.
A little amuse-bouche.
Okay,
What
get
are
out of
you
here.
playing at?
Okay, we need +4.
The balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity is too low.
Nice.
So, what do you think?
Okay. One more layer. I think? Yeah. Oh, shoot. 8? Okay, one more.
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
Okay, I need +8. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoot. I can't do that.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Enough! Oh, useless. Both of you, make like an egg and beat it!
Add 2 -2. There we go! I'm just that good.
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
We just need the chocolate. Oh.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg.
Yeah! I love how it's her elemental burst that finishes it off.
That was perfect! We were like a flock of snowing geese, completely in sync, working gracefully and elegantly together. Great work, team!
Thank you, Escoffier.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Okay.
Huh. That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10. Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Did she use a different item?
I couldn't tell.
I bet that's Savannah's.
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in.
What happened?
I think maybe someone got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here.
Time
Savannah may not be
berating
perfect,
her.
but no way is she this sloppy.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now, All that remains is to turn the plate over and
No.
reveal the chef's
Wait.
name underneath.
What if Savannah sabotaged our gâteau and she sprinkled sugar on top to ruin it? I would, or she swapped the names. I'm so scared that's what's gonna happen.
What? It's Savannah?
No, that's impossible.
Yeah. That's impossible.
Savannah, you cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that. It was Vanejem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her
No.
assistants let the team down?
Because I did basically everything, and I know that I did it right.
We demand a rematch. That's enough.
What's done is done. As head
Monica,
chef, or rather as
what
team
happened?
lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, I should have spotted it. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I...
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself?
What's
what I'm
wrong with
offering
Monica,
is to accept
though?
defeat without looking to expose
Why does she
what you've
look
done.
like she did something wrong?
But only on the condition that you
Why is she
promise to
acting
stop
like
putting
she did
so much
something
pressure
wrong?
on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss, just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your advice.
All right,
yes you
fine.
do.
I'm glad to hear it.
Monica, what's wrong?
Escoffier!
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's mission accomplished for the Spina. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
But Escoffier, privately, I'm sure she's devastated. But what's done is done.
No. No! This doesn't make any sense!
What, Savannah?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
She passed out?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
What?
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, The person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
But why? Why would she do that?
Our
That is
best
a
guess
good
is
question.
she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
Interesting.
Well, how is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure to taste test it before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
I knew it.
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no need to hide it.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
What?
Food safety. Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to jail. But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
Huh.
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail?
That's absolutely
It made me freeze
wild.
up with fear. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
This poor woman.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up?
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer. This wasn't the only factor. So, you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
You mean... you forgive me?
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail?
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though.
Ugh. What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
You mean the board, right?
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier's version. But something's always slightly off every time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought, though.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since
maybe that's what
Escoffier left.
made her
She
mood
wants to
turn
prove that she can fill
sour.
Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
She thought the codex from Escoffier was fake.
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of
Ain't
course.
that the truth?
Then she finally got the codex only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
There's
That
still
makes
one
sense.
thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different? She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
I don't think so.
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
He had so much
This
pressure on
tastes
her.
different from last time. Is it undercooked or something? Ugh!
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself, at least believe in me. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
Man, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Crazy!
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
Man, I hope so.
In that case, I'll go
Jeez
and update for
Louise.
Mon.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
Sure. Let's go.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
Navia, eating too many sweets is bad for you.
Nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
What is it,
Traveler,
Escoffier?
how much do you know about the snow-winged goose?
Not a whole
Every
lot.
year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock.
An unopened teleport
Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them.
Is this about you and Savannah?
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish.
That's
Of course,
very
some people have a
true.
more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more
Because
conscientious.
it's
But these are all variables that can
they're
be accounted
literally
for with
doing the
time and
exact same
practice.
thing.
I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness.
I don't know if you're right, but I think that's a great thing to believe then.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savannah failed. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then she'll finally see the error of her ways.
That okay, I'm gonna assume since it says Ice Frosted Endgame, that's the end of this. This is gonna be the last part of the story. I hope. I don't. This is so long.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanigem isn't for a while.
I wanted to check on Escoffier.
Check on her? Why? What happened? Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
Oh my gosh.
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
You really did pull an all-nighter then.
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Let me get you a fresh one.
Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
I don't have a dish containing coffee beans. Yeah, I don't. I don't even think I have coffee beans as an ingredient. Oh, I do. But I've never used them before. Alright, let's see. Where do they want me to go?
Hello, what can I get for you?
I need coffee.
Sure thing.
Stat.
We're here to go.
To go,
Huh?
please.
Oh, I see. First cup of the season. Yeah, I get it. Young people these days do love their little surprises.
Bro thinks that I'm getting it as a gift. Not convinced we're on the same page here, but I'm not here to chat. Let's get to this coffee to Escoffier. Actually, I'm gonna talk to him real quick, see if I can grab that recipe. Oh. Looks like I've already gotten it. That's interesting. Let's see. This one uses coffee beans. I think that's like the only dish I have that uses coffee beans. Oh well. Now let's get back up there.
Transfixed.
Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Well, let's just climb on up the side of the building. Almost there. There we go.
Coffee. Need coffee.
This poor lady. See, I could give her this one, but I'm gonna give her the quest item.
I smell coffee.
Caffeine addict.
I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it. But make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
I'm on catching up on sleep doesn't exist. Well, anyway, how goes the investigation?
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Wait, what investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
And yet, look at this kitchen. Seems like you had your own share of failed experiments last night.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier, have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Oh my goodness.
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
The founder of Hotel de Board?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold
Are we
on.
gonna have to go save
There's
her?
more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
A letter received several months ago. It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? I know you were responsible for purchasing the problematic ingredient that day. What would your good friend think? I wonder. If she learned that you suffered on account, if she learned that she suffered on account of your negligence, what would the people in the hotel think? So, I imagine you'd like to keep this a secret from Escoffier, wouldn't you, head chef Savannah? And then a letter received several weeks ago. Retrieve the real codex by any means necessary. That's where the real treasure can be found. You gave it away like a fool. Well then, you're going to get it back, whether in a bet or by force. It doesn't matter. Oh, I know. Don't you have that cooking showdown of yours? And you don't think and if you don't think you can win, why, you simply need to have your opponent lose. I imagine that assistant of yours might come in handy in that regard. What are you dawdling for? She was the one who concealed the secret recipe in the first place. Why else do you think she's never been able Why else do you think you've never been able to recreate her work? She's afraid. Afraid that you'll outshine her. What do you imagine everyone says about you, both within and beyond the hotel walls? Ordinary, they call you untalented. Ha! A failure who'll never surpass Escoffier. And you know whose fault that is? That's right. It's hers. She's no saint. Never has been. So why hesitate?
It was you. You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
It seems that way.
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
So did Savannah blackmail Monica? Or is it the other way around? Meanwhile, somewhere deep beneath the sea.
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident, the demand for a cooking contest, the instruction to blackmail Monica, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it, Monica?
Huh. Do we have to go save her now? That's unfortunate. Oh, guess,
we should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Oh, it's over here? It... That's wild. The way you just roll into the sea. Well. That is mighty unfortunate. Oh, it's over here. Whoops. Well, I don't think we're gonna have to fight too much, so I think this team might be fine. I got 2 DPSs on here. It's fine. Oh, and Escoffier's here. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna be fine. Signature weapon. Golden troop. C3. Okay. Hello? Wow, this is actually really pretty. Oh, there's circuitry?
Whoa! This place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here?
From underneath, probably.
Aw, they ran off!
Let's head further in.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
I know how to get rid of it.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
Huh.
We have to feed the blubber beast? See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when—
There is no time for that. Romaritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait.
Well. Did she just keep that in her back pocket?
Off to the freezer!
So, -4. -2 +3 -5.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double.
I know how to do this one. So that'll bring it the first one. Then we have to make a second one. We can't do that right now.
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Okay, one more.
Getting here. The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying.
Okay. So add 6. It would just be like this. That's wild. Okay. Then we just need to rotate it twice. This is primordial seawater. Well, that's number 2 done.
Hey, it's open!
Oh, there's a chest. Nice. Well, here we go.
Hurry up, Grassa!
Some time ago. Savannah Monica.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
Bro, there's literally water all around
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off. Not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives.
Oh.
Did you not hear me?
That's why she waited
going.
to say
Why don't you do it yourself?
that she was blackmailed
when did you
until
learn to fight
after
back?
Savannah
You're always so
passed
compliant when I
out.
give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you.
That's
You were
wild.
terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see,
crazy.
You're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
Oh,
You're right.
brother.
I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
Oh,
What?
brother.
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a
poisoned
fiddle for so
both of
long,
them?
and now this is payback!
But
They're
you
both
drink it
gonna
too.
die.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
That's crazy.
What's so
Did she
funny?
not actually drink it?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
Huh.
No.
Revenge is a
lied.
dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think
No,
your
she
half-baked
swapped
plot
out
would
the
fool
water
me?
before.
You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again, for the last time.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say
When
goodbye.
are we gonna come in?
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive!
Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry. Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad.
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
That's
Will
wild.
you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
She's planning on
My eyes
selling
are
it?
wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure.
She's
You'll see what a
she's
fool you've been.
planning to kill someone over it.
Wait, what's that sound?
The place
Just
is
when I thought she
collapsing.
couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Let's find another route and go after
Savannah's
her.
gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
Well, there's one piece of good news. At least Savannah is safe for
That's
now.
true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Easy. I got this.
A little amuse-bouche.
Wait, how'd she do it?
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
She's terrible at ice bridging, bro. Okay. Well, that's a chest. Let's see where this goes. Oh boy.
Golems! How are they still mobile?
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping. This is where you fall.
Oh my goodness.
Dead reckoning! Getting here!
Finally.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Okay. That's not too difficult. This one just needs 2. Oh my goodness.
A little amuse-bouche.
Okay. There we go. Just took some math. I'll start with the further one. Because it's more bothersome to get over there. Oh my goodness, how long does this take?
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Oh my goodness. I just need a -3.
Off to the freezer.
Okay, so I'll add 2 to -5. And then there we go. Okay. Now I just need to change the positioning of this one. And we're all set. Here it comes.
A little moose boosh.
Frost is coming!
Overruled.
I never
Here we
knew you
go.
could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down.
How did they get past these so
Lumitwols
fast,
and my maritime
though?
flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
Okay. Where could they be?
That's strange. These don't look Grimoirian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
They don't look that worn either. They've been left by previous adventurers.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Let's rummage around. They may have left a journal or something.
You really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Well, I'm a pro at least.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
And bingo. Found it.
Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins.
Is this Savali?
It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gateau de Boer into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the Gateau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool.
What?
Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
Is this when he died?
It was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Gateau de Boer.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
Let's keep reading.
The taste of Gateau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their senses entirely.
That's
In
terrible.
hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, he took his own life.
What?
And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye.
He killed himself?
Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria.
Yeah, because
it's almost as if someone deliberately erased
got
it
rid
from
of
history.
his taste.
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too.
So we didn't say anything.
What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh no, we've got to stop Monica.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Oh, brother. Oh, wow.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally,
she is
the
a
secret to
true
Remoria's
villain.
military might is within my grasp.
Is that statue
the
gonna
treasure
come
of
alive
Remoria
and
is
attack her?
mine.
I hope so.
It's empty.
Yeah.
It's empty.
Yeah, Monica. It's
Oh,
empty.
we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Oh, brother.
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarians shall be slain.
Now we have to defeat them because she did something stupid.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out! Everlasting as the moon!
Hair! Please, no.
Oh my goodness. Please.
A dash of frost!
Getting here!
Now we get out of here.
Why is this place still shaking?
Maybe it's because of fighting?
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, Traveler Escoffier, come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
A gun?
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
Why did she even do this in the first place?
Psycho!
Savannah? When did you wake up?
I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
We're out of time. We need to get out of here.
Let's...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler! And Paimon!
Venejem, what are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
Yeah.
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Apparently.
Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot, but when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every
They're
time.
really
Things were
nice.
pretty rough after Escoffier left.
And they're
And
just
Savannah's the only
comforting
reason
her.
we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but...
Well, about that...
Okay, well...
It's been a while.
Shut up.
Chef Savannah.
Firma? I'm so sorry. I put but...
Actually, I think I'm going to...
Huh?
We thought Firma's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter, and as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses, a small dose, might simply make a person more emotional. Whether that mean more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
You're already sounding a lot more confident.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's
What a nice guy.
more. We believe that Firma was likely not Monica's only victim.
You mean... she poisoned me too?
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time!
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumaline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it that no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours? Is it just...
you see.
I mean, is it because...
She already figured
you're a
that out.
genius and I'm
She was
not?
gonna tell you, but you got kidnapped.
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
Is that it?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth.
Savannah,
You're
please.
a genius.
Shut up.
And I'm just plain old Savannah.
That has nothing to do with
Oh,
this.
cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it? Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them, and then
She
keep
gives
chipping
good
away until you crack
advice.
the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Huh? But that was mostly Monica's fault. What?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now?
No excuses. This is a cooking so grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening
Okay,
today.
she's nice
Right
and
now,
she gives
this
good
instant.
advice, but she does have a
So,
temper. And she doesn't let go of grudges easily.
The second cooking contest commences now!
This
Wow.
time, no more games, and no holding back!
Is that a miniature version? What is this? Food Wars? Great anime. You should check it out.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too
Ain't
scared to
that the
fail,
truth?
you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
Bro, we don't get to see what she got judged? What did she make?
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Ah, come on.
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Her tail seems very happy with the results.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
This wasn't for you, was it? You did this for Savannah's sake.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
So, what are your future plans? Are you gonna stay at the Flu Cendre?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in. I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course, but the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue. And in her, I saw so
Xiangling!
many new possibilities.
She met Xiangling?
She has that same adventurous spirit
What?
that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored.
She
Hiding
met the
away in
real
ingredients we
Pyro Archon
overlook.
in Globa.
Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
If she and Xiangling...
Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Well, I'm always down to be your taste tester.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously
She
do my
should
research,
collaborate with
make sure it doesn't
Xiangling.
contain any harmful substances. In the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg revised version. I tweaked
Let's
it to suit your
go.
needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always welcome.
All right. So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Good luck to Savannah, I guess.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Bourg. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
She sold her soul for a dream, then had a rude awakening.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Bourg?
Because they
Don't
didn't
forget,
know it existed
it was a
back
very
then.
different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk.
Damn,
Strange to say it,
Paimon.
but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
She got exactly what she deserved.
Hey! Huh? Navia?
You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old. Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Wait, isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something. Ugh, it's such a shame.
Well. That's that. Nice. And then we get a free extra 60 primos. Now I want to see what ingredients do we use for this recipe. Where can I find? Where can I find? Ah. Guess I'll just go back to Mondstadt. Okay, now let's take a look-see. What do I need in order to make this? Oh, that's not too bad. It's the same as Ling's dish that she gave us back in like 2.0, 1.0, something like that. So, Romatine flowers, Romaritza. Yep, eggs, flour, and cream. That's not too bad. Well, I think that's gonna be all for today. So, wow, that was a long story quest. 2 full hours. Basically almost 3. That's insane. Well, I hope you enjoyed the entire story quest, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next stream or video. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Bye bye!